boss. Um, it is the final day of VBS. Not even just in this discussion, it is actively the final day of VBS. Um, Pretty sure it went great. I'm filming this the week before because I'm gonna be a little tired by Friday next week. So it's currently July 21st, and hopefully VBS went well. A little terrifying. But so here's the deal, right? With the final day of VBS, kids are kind of out of it. They're tired. We're tired. Everybody's tired. It's been 5 long days of go, 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 go. So when they get to storytelling, they're still tired. So there's not like a ton that there's not a ton to talk about. It's a lot of kind of just jumping around. Popcorn is one of the things they want us to do, and this whole thing. But the story that they're talking about is it's kind of wrapping up the whole Joseph thing, and it's explaining the ending. Because at the very beginning, we were talking about, oh my goodness, this is shaky. We were talking about Joseph's family ditching him and like sending him into slavery and everything that came after that. And then last week was all the Jesus stuff and how that, kind of ties into everything. But then this week is just kind of wrapping everything up. So it's just the family reunion. Basically what happens, Joseph's in charge, which is really terrifying. There's a famine that is sweeping the nations, just like God said it would. And Joseph stored enough food. He convinced Egypt to store enough food to feed everybody and some of the neighboring countries. So a bunch of the neighboring countries were going to Egypt to buy food. One of those nations is the one that Joseph originally came from. I'm 80% sure it's Canaan, but I did forget. So do not quote me on that. But they came. They didn't recognize Joseph, which makes sense because it had been, it had been like 21 years or something since they got rid of him. So that's awkward. But Joseph recognized them, and he sent them on this whole wild goose chase, all around Egypt. And all of his brothers were like, "What's going on? Why is this important man being so mean to us?" And then eventually, after they finished their whole wild goose chase, they came back to Joseph. Joseph sat them all down and was like, "You guys have no idea who I am, do you?" "It's me." And they were like, "Oh, that's awkward." Because at the very beginning, when they first got there, obviously everybody was bowing down to Joseph. They bowed down to Joseph too. Just like God said they would, multiple times. But then Joseph was like, "Nah, it's cool. Sucks that you sold me into slavery, but at least I'm making something of myself, Not a slaver anymore." That's the story. Is just the whole motto theme thingy. The Bible point is God is surprising, but from my perspective, everything that happens in that story is just stuff that God explicitly said would happen, and then everyone was like, "Oh, that sounds good, God. Okay." And then it happens, and everyone's like, "What? Where did that come from?" And God's probably sitting up there literally told you 5 minutes ago exactly what was going to happen. But yeah, that's literally it. He just sees their family again, and VBS fleshes it out with games and eat popcorn with them and just stuff like that because they're like, "Oh, you're hungry." I'm excited for it. It's gonna be because you basically just party is the whole thing. It's just a party day. Um, but it makes it a little tough when you're doing a Bible study on VBS because there's really no ton to talk about. But yeah, go to family reunions and make sure you don't sell your brother into slavery before said family reunion because it will come back to bite you. Which I think is hilarious because Joseph had all the dreams about them bowing down to them, and that's why he was thrown into the well and attempted to be murdered and was whatever, you guys know what I mean. And so it's like it's because I don't know. I think it's funny. It's a good story. We actually there's a whole section of VBS where we send the kids on a wild goose chase, a la his brothers. So like we give all the crew leaders Joseph's to-do list. So like Joseph accused his brothers of being spies. So in the crew, you have to point to each other and say, "You're a spy." They don't have Benjamin, Joseph's youngest brother. Go get him. Find out who's the youngest in your crew and have that person run around the crew 3 times. Put one brother in jail until the rest of them come back with Benjamin. Join hands around the tallest crew member and sing Ring Around the Rosie. Hide silver in their bags to see if they return it. Give each person in the crew a high five. Hide a silver cup in Benjamin's bag. Shout, "I found it." Threaten to capture them all unless they bring their dad to you. Line up shortest to tallest and caravan across the room back to your crew blanket. So, like, it's cute. It's fun. And then, like, after they do all that, and because, like, the leader is, like, supposed to be dressed in, like, Egyptian servant clothes and acting like the kids have come to get food. So it's cute. But then yeah, all the kids come back and then the servant's like, "Oh, well, look at them. Here's what else happened." And they all said hi to each other and they hugs and cried and food and here's popcorn and turn on music and just dance. So this is a really exciting episode, you guys. That's about it. Joseph forgave his brothers, and you should too. If you get sold into slavery by your brothers and 21 years later they bow down to you, you should forgive them. They've learned their lesson. They won't sell you into slavery again. I almost promise. I don't really know your brothers, so like maybe they will. Maybe they're just dumb, but I don't really know. So that's that on that. I'll see you guys next week after I've slept. Like a lot.